Can corn be made into gold? Those animals and plants that can extract gold, you know. In the impression of many people, it seems that gold can only be extracted from gold mines or some scraps of electronic devices, alloys, and jewelry. Gold is rare, but not so rare. For example, 10 grams of gold can be extracted from the ash of 1 ton of corn. The so-called ash refers to the solid residue left after a certain substance is calcined or dried. Not only in corn, but also some other plants are rich in gold. For example, 7 to 8 grams of gold can be extracted from the ash of 1 ton of pine cones, and 200 grams of tantalum can be extracted from 40 hectares of alfalfa or 700 kilograms of alfalfa nectar. In addition to plants, some animals also have high levels of gold in their bodies. For example, the gold content in the beetle is 2.5 times that of corn, that is to say, 1 kilogram of the beetle can extract 25 mg of gold. Even the human body contains gold, but the content is relatively low. Studies have shown that a person weighing 70 kilograms has 0.2 mg of gold in his body, and precious metals can even be extracted from human feces. Scientists have pointed out that human feces contain gold, silver, platinum, palladium, vanadium, and other rare metals, and studies have estimated that the feces excreted by every 1 million people contain metals worth about $12 million. If the world's human waste is mined, it can bring tens of billions of dollars in economic benefits every year. So the question is, why are there high levels of gold in some animals and plants? In fact, this mainly comes from the enrichment of organisms. The so-called bioconcentration refers to the accumulation of certain elements or substances that are difficult to decompose and excrete in the environment, so that the concentration of these substances in the organism exceeds the phenomenon of concentration in the environment. Bioconcentration will continue to strengthen with the extension of the food chain, and the enrichment of certain elements by some organisms will be more prominent. For example, kelp has the ability to highly enrich iodine, and can extract a large amount of iodine from seawater. Generally, the content of iodine in dried kelp can reach 0.3% to 0.5%, and some even as high as 1%, which is 10% of the iodine concentration in seawater. Of course, the enrichment of minerals is often harmful to the organism itself. For example, if there are a lot of heavy metals and harmful substances in a certain environment, then they will accumulate with the enrichment of the food chain. For the organisms at the top of the food chain, the more obvious this enrichment effect is, the greater the harm. Take nuclear wastewater as an example. If it is true what Japan says, after the completion of the submarine tunnel in 2023, the Fukushima nuclear wastewater that has undergone certain treatment will be discharged into the sea. Then the harmful substances that have not been treated by then, such as radioactive elements, etc., will inevitably be enriched by microorganisms, fish and shrimp, and then to humans, which will cause unforeseen harm.